This is the Skoda Octavia vRS estate, and it's one of those cars that offers the best of both worlds, practicality and performance. Let's get the sensible stuff out of the way with first, shall we? So, practicality. Now, the Octavia estate is one of the best small estate cars on the market. Now, it may not have the largest boot in the class, and when you fold the rear seats down, which is perfectly straightforward with this handle here on either side, there is a step between the back seats and the boot floor, and there is a bit of a drop into the boot floor. The amount of space you've got on offer is still pretty good. Now, here's the Carbuyer suitcase. Let's pop that in, and for a large family holiday you could probably fit 4 of those in there with some extra space. There are some nice little touches in here. There's a 12-volt socket here, we've got a compartment to the one side there, we've got hooks on either side, which is great for pieces of shopping, and we've got space for a space saver spare wheel under here. Now, despite all those little niggles, the amount of space you've got on offer is still pretty good. Right, let's move to the back seats. Let's just pop this back up, and this type of car is going to be used a lot by families, and the good news is there's lots of space back here. Now there's a good amount of headroom, and despite these being big chunky sports seats, knee room is very good too. You can fit 3 people quite easily actually. It's quite comfortable sitting here. Headroom is still pretty good. We've got easily accessible ISOFIX points, which is great for those child seats, and we've got an armrest here with a couple of cup holders, and we've also got a ski hatch, which is great for your winter holidays. As it's the Octavia's halo model, the vRS gets some good equipment thrown in as standard. So there are high-backed sports seats with red or grey stitching, some carbon fibre look-alike trim, 18-inch alloys, xenon lights, sports suspension, and there's even an ice scraper in the filler cap. Skoda doesn't do garish sports versions of its cars, so depending upon your taste, you'll either love it or you'll hate it in here. Now personally, I love it. I like all the understated details, like the embossed vRS logo on the seats, the vRS logo that's on the steering wheel that's also got perforated leather trim. I also like the carbon fibre-esque trim on the centre console and along the tops of the doors. Now, if you do go for the optional leather sports seats like we've got here, not only do they feel fantastic, there is one word of warning though. They only come in black, and they go perfectly with the black trim down here, the black trim across the dashboard, the black trim on the doors, and the black headlining. It is very dull in here indeed. Despite this, everything is still very well made, lots of soft touch plastics everywhere, and it really feels as if it's built to last. Storage is good in the Octavia. There's a large size glove box, 2 cup holders in the centre console, a large cubby under the armrest, and the door bins pass the Carbuyer big bottle test. So the vRS estate is practical, but this is where it takes on a whole new appeal. Under the bonnet there's a choice of just 2 engines, a 2-litre turbo petrol or a 2-litre diesel. The petrol engine is the same you find in the VW Golf GTI, and it has 217 brake horsepower, so it's very quick. 0 to 62 takes under 7 seconds, and top speed is 152 miles an hour. However, that 0 to 62 time is with the 6-speed manual. If you go for the 6-speed DSG Auto, that knocks it back down by a couple of tenths. It's not particularly economical. You're very unlikely to see anything more than 35 mpg, and with CO2 emissions of 143 grams per kilometre, it's not going to be particularly cheap to run. If that is a little too much to stomach, then there's the diesel. With 182 brake horsepower and a strong 380 Nm of torque, it's still quick. 0 to 62 miles an hour still takes a very brisk 8.2 seconds, and with it emitting 126 grams per kilometre of CO2, it's cheaper to tax. And it's more economical. Now, I've been doing about 400 miles in this car and I've been getting in excess of 45 mpg, and this car's quick enough and it's bags of fun. The steering is sharp, the chassis feels really agile. Of course, you can change the way the car drives through the drive mode selector, which is down here. You've got various different modes. You've got eco, normal, sport and individual, where you can tailor the settings to your precise requirements. If you go into sport mode, the steering weights up, the throttle gets a little bit crisper, and there's also some extra artificial noise pumped into the cabin. It's quite good at first, but after a while it is a little bit gimmicky. The Octavia vRS is not quite as fun to drive as the Ford Focus ST estate or the more powerful SEAT Leon ST Cupra, but it is enjoyable enough. Just like the mechanically identical VW Golf GTD estate, the VRS estate diesel is fun enough without breaking the bank. But none of those cars come with the option of 2- or 4-wheel drive. Now, if you go for the 4-wheel drive option in the Octavia vRS, it'll cost you an extra £1,450, and of course there is a penalty to CO2 and MPG figures. But if you want something with all year round appeal, there's nothing quite like it. So the Skoda Octavia vRS estate then? Well, I'm going to stop short of saying it's the perfect all-rounder, but if you want an estate car that is practical, quick, subtle, efficient if you go for the diesel version, and offers year-round safety with the 4x4 version, well, it pretty much ticks every single box. If you like the look of the Skoda Octavia vRS estate, then check out our reviews of the VW Golf GTD estate on the left or the SEAT Leon Cupra on the right. Click the play icon for our latest video and on our logo to subscribe.